These are the Arctic Archives. I'm Josh Frederico. In this episode, I sit down with Jormah and Amanda Pope as they reflect on the 12 years they spent living along the Yukon and Charley rivers. We touch on topics ranging from their time in a wall tent versus staying in the Slaven's Roadhouse, fish and game population changes in the area, and living and adventuring out in the wild with young kids. Here's our conversation. Enjoy.
That's what we started out in, was a 12 by 16 canvas tent. That's what we lived in.
Really?
Yeah.
And we had a 10 by 12 canvas tent that was just sort of our storage.
Yep.
And then we had a smokehouse.
Okay.
So we were smoking salmon and meat and stuff. And
Random bear that would come by.
yeah, I think Sadri
Really?
was 2.
Okay.
Sadri was 2. Natra was about 4.
No, 2013. Sadri was 1.
1.
Nacho was 3.
Yeah, 3. So they were
Wow.
still pretty young.
That's
living out
very
there.
young. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when you started. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So that was on the Charley, and you lived in the wall tent, and did you have a canoe? You
We had
moved down the Charley in?
We had a canoe. We also had a motorboat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I had a Go Devil
Okay.
with the flat bottom boat.
Okay. Nice. Wow. So
We still have that.
you still probably never get rid of that one.
Still got it.
Yeah.
Got a new motor, but
Yeah. The boat's still good.
I had a lot of hours on that old
That's
motor.
cool. Well, that's fascinating. So with 2 young kids, you lived in the wall tents for just months at a time. So you'd move up and down the Charley or out onto the Yukon too, or
And all
just
over.
buried? Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
spent a lot of time up around the Charley.
We
Some time on down around Birch Creek.
Yeah.
we stored everything out of Circle. We had like
Okay.
a whole place in Circle that we just kind of dropped stuff off
Yeah. Okay.
and got new stuff for like whatever season we were in.
Yeah.
So if it was like summer, we would have our fishing gear and all of our stuff out at fish camp, and we'd bring that stuff in, and then after the freeze up, we'd go out for the winter and freeze in somewhere
Gotcha.
with
Okay.
our winter
cool.
stuff.
So maybe starting from around, let's say, breakup, what would a 12-month period look like for you guys? Like, would you go somewhere specific for, say, the King run and then back for a caribou, or how would things work for you guys?
Usually first thing you had ducks,
Okay.
would be the first thing, and then spring duck and geese, and then we would usually start fishing with a whitefish net for pike and whitefish.
Okay.
And then we would, once the kings would come in, usually around early July.
Okay.
So we'd start fishing for kings. That time frame.
And we would process them, smoke them, jar them.
Yeah.
Then those would be ready for the winter. And then we'd go into chum fishing.
Okay.
Yeah, we usually did the chum like around the end of September, early October.
Okay.
They called them fall silvers.
Fall silvers.
But,
Okay.
yeah.
Nice.
But they were chum salmon.
Yeah. Okay.
We used those for trapping.
I was gonna
bait,
ask,
and,
yeah.
We'd eat some too, but
Okay. Huh. So then you're into trapping season. You start laying your line in November-ish.
Well, we would usually fish for burbot up until, like, while the river's freezing into October and November, we would fish for burbot, and the kids, like, our daily routine after we'd be out on the trap line, frozen in, kind of left there for 5 months. Our daily routine would be have breakfast, we'd go out, we'd go down and chip a hole in the ice or in the river, and we'd get water out of the river. And then during our loop back, we would, the kids would bring their 22 for rabbit or for grouse. They would check the burbot lines, and we'd come back with our daily haul,
Cool.
whatever it was.
Yeah.
we did rabbit snares too.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
A lot of rabbits.
We ate a lot of small game, like
Yeah.
and fish.
Right.
Like I said, we didn't have a lot of moose in that country.
Right.
So
We were talking.
some years we'd get a moose, and it was always nice when we did, but we relied pretty heavily on small game.
Okay. And at the time, were the caribou moving through there pretty regularly?
Yeah, back then, caribou were still pretty plentiful.
Okay.
And, sometimes they would actually cross the river.
Really?
They'd come down and cross the Yukon.
Oh, wow.
I'm not sure if they do that anymore.
Yeah.
They
It's quite
definitely
the
used
swim.
to.
Well, yeah, they were 500,000, like back in
Yeah, it wasn't uncommon
long
to see
time
them out on
ago.
the islands.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
And once they got out on the islands, you were allowed, I think, 10 of them.
Okay. Yes. That's a lot of meat.
But
Okay.
yeah, we had a lot of bears in the country, so we would take
Mm.
bears.
Oh, cool. Okay.
But yeah, small game was a big part of our diet and fish, and
We like bear meat.
we would when the kids would do their little circuit, we would usually catch more than what we could eat that day. So we would just, like the rabbits, we'd stack them on the porch.
Okay.
They'd be frozen.
Yeah, that's cool.
We'd just stack them up like cordwood. And so
Yep.
when Amanda wanted to make rabbit, we would just grab 2
Off
of them
the
and
stockpile.
thaw them out, skin them, and then she'd cook them. And
That's cool.
rabbits, we ate a lot of rabbits.
A lot of
Yeah.
rabbits. Okay.
Rabbits, grouse. We do some salmon
Yeah.
that we had in the jars.
Yeah.
If we were able to put like a large animal away, we'd have it hang and just like cut off a big piece for a couple of days
Right.
at a time.
Yeah. But when we couldn't fish for salmon anymore,
It got hard.
we relied a lot
Yeah.
on rabbits.
Is that a regulation change with the
Just-
Well,
preserve?
the numbers were just so poor.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We weren't able to fish for kings anymore, or chums.
Really?
We weren't able to catch either. So
Okay,
that
so-
made it more difficult because we used chum for a trapping bait, and we ran anywhere like 150 or so traps, and
Okay.
not having much bait, we were really scrambling for something to use, and this was a really good bait. Especially chums, we would let them turn green, and they had a really strong
Okay.
smell to them. And
That worked well.
we used it for lynx, we used it for marten, wolverine, everything liked it. So
Really? Do you know what caused the drop in the salmon numbers?
I don't know. We never. I mean, they're still trying to figure it out.
Really? Okay.
Well, they think it's some is from like the fisheries whole thing down in the mouth of the Yukon,
Okay.
where a lot of people are just kind of taking fish and just illegally taking it, or just taking it and dumping it.
Oh, wow.
They would find like dead kings, like boatloads.
Really?
But that's an ongoing fight that a lot of people are fighting right now.
Okay. Wow.
A lot of bycatch.
Gotcha. Down by the mouth of the Yukon. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, they have to swim from the mouth of the Yukon all the way up. And where we were in the upper Yukon, about 200 miles away, less than 200 miles away from the Canadian border. So we were in that stretch, and they had to travel a long ways, and sometimes they don't even make it up that far.
Yeah. Okay.
And there's like 5 different salmon species,
Right.
and we only got the summer chum, fall chum, and kings, and they all have their numbers have really depleted.
Really? Wow. Okay. So you wouldn't get the pinks and the silvers and
No,
okay. Gotcha.
rarely we'll get a silver, like one random.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
make a wrong turn
We had to start targeting, pike and whitefish and burbot
Really?
more.
because the salmon went down.
But we did, up there, we didn't get a very big whitefish run. There's just a little Cisco's.
Okay.
We get some pike up there. Birch Creek had a lot of pike, but we got some big burbot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Big
the
burbot in
Yukon,
there.
Okay.
really good
We
bourbon.
eat a
bet.
lot of
I
burbot. Not that I'm complaining.
Yeah, I've heard. I actually haven't tried it yet, so but I've heard good
Missing
things.
out.
Yeah, I've heard.
Oh, it's excellent.
Yeah, a matter
one
of
of our
time.
favorite.
So, she-fish. You get a lot of she-fish through there.
There were some. We would pick some up in the nets. But
Okay.
they're not as
Springtime.
big as like down on the lower end.
Okay.
Not as big of the runs.
Yeah.
Early summer, I think, late spring,
I've caught them all the way up into the fall. but
Okay.
but
They,
not much.
I talked to a biologist, and they said those sheepish actually stay up there.
Oh wow.
They don't run all the way out to the ocean or anything
Oh,
like the
wow,
ones
okay.
on the lower end. They just They just kind of hang out in that area, but they
Gotcha.
never get very big that
Okay.
I've seen.
Okay.
There's some big ones that get in, run up Birch Creek, but
Yeah.
in the Yukon, I've never seen any really big ones. But
That's cool.
I know the Candic gets a run of sheepfish, and
Okay.
I don't think the Charley does, but the Candic does. I
Gotcha.
know Birch Creek does, but
That's cool. So how many years did you guys live in the canvas tent and move around?
I think we did that 2 years.
Okay.
After that, we actually started working for Park Service.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, we
funny.
were fighting.
Funny story, but so we spent a lot of time in the preserve,
Mm-hmm.
and we happened to be up there. I think it was during moose season,
Yeah, we were on our way up
and
to
it was
Charlie.
kind of late moose season, and we stopped at Slaven's to stay the night.
Yeah.
And there was a bunch of parkies there, and we ended up shacking up with them in the cabin, and one of them happened to be the chief of interpretation, Chris
Okay.
Pfister, and we just got to yakking all night, and she said, you're the kind of person I want to work here. She said, a lot of what they've done over the years is they bring people in from the lower 48, they work for the summer, they leave, but they don't know anything about the country, they don't know anything about the people, the culture.
Gotcha.
And that's kind of where a lot of the issues come from.
Yeah.
And they've had a lot of issues in the preserve,
Yeah.
as a lot of people know.
All right.
And so she said, my idea is to have locals here who are familiar instead of having these people who don't know and cause the problem.
Yeah.
So I said, well, I'm going to have to think about this because, working for Park Service, I have to live here.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't think very highly of Park Service people.
Yeah.
So I actually went around to the community and I talked to different people. I said, this is the situation. What is your thoughts? And everybody's like, you know what? We'd rather have you there than someone else.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So I agreed, and so that spring I actually started working for them.
Wow.
And we started staying, the whole family started staying there
The only
at Slaven's.
the only stipulation you had for working with them is that the family had to be there with him.
Yeah.
And we had to be able to continue living our lifestyle.
Yeah. Okay.
And so she agreed. She's like, well, that's what I want. She said,
Perfect.
I want you guys to just do your thing. You were there to take care of the cabin and sort of, maintain everything.
At Slaven's Roadhouse?
Slaven's
Yeah.
Slaven's
Roadhouse.
Roadhouse. Okay.
So we pretty much started staying up there through the whole summer,
Okay.
since that's where I was working.
Yep.
And the whole family stayed there. We ran our fish nets up there, and we already hunted up there. And so it was just kind of, we just moved another 50 miles upriver, basically, at that point. And so,
Yeah, from our fish camp. Well,
yes,
yeah.
from where we were living in the canvas tent.
Yeah.
And so, when we first went out, that country already was kind of taken by all people trapping, all the old timers, and so there really wasn't a lot of open country at that time. So when we were downriver there, I started doing some trapping with her uncle.
Okay.
I had trapped before, but not so much out there.
Yeah.
So I started trapping with her uncle Russ Sperry around Birch Creek area, and he was kind of showing me that country. But up where we were at that time, Brian Asplin, also known as Doug Dill, was trapping up there.
Yeah.
And so that country wasn't open. But when I started working up there, Brian had gotten pancreatic cancer and passed away at a young age. He wasn't too old. And his son, knew we were up there. He knew, that I was trapping. He asked if we would be interested in taking over his dad's line.
Okay.
And so, we agreed to take that over.
Okay.
Which would have been up there around Slaven's area. And so that's when we took over that trap line.
How many miles was that line?
I don't know. It's his line was huge.
Yeah.
I never even trapped all of it.
Okay.
I think we went like 40 miles.
Yeah, because he had a line at 20 Mile, which burnt.
Okay.
I think he started cutting it out right around when he had passed, and then He also had trapped the Charley at one time, so he would run up Cold Creek, come down Hannah Creek to the Charley River, and then back, which was a lot of country to run. And so when we took it over, it had burnt and it needed a lot of cutting.
Yeah, okay.
So we were basically reestablishing the line at that time.
Gotcha.
It grows so quick. It would grow in like a year.
Really?
If you let it.
Brush and everything.
Which is kind of what got us in with the Park Service, because they didn't want us to reestablish the line. And so it was a matter of, getting that worked out.
Gotcha.
They have this rule where you're not allowed to cut any live trees over 3 inches.
Really?
And so to reestablish the line, obviously, we had to cut a lot of stuff out of the way. And some of them were over 3 inches.
Right.
Matchsticks, fallen trees.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
Just
it was a lot of work.
I would imagine. Yeah.
We spent a lot of time cutting trail.
Yeah.
One of the trails we had cut out was the old Sam Creek Trail. And the year after we cut it out, it burnt.
Oh,
and so we gave up.
We
gave up on that one. It was pretty
too much.
It was a big letdown because we put a lot of time into cutting that old. That's an old trail. That trail is almost 100 years old.
Wow.
And so, we spent a lot of time on getting it reestablished, and then it came through and burnt. And we went in, and it's just all the matchsticks
over the whole.
We would have had to recut the whole thing again, and.
So
very frustrating.
Trap line lasted 100-ish years, and then the fire got it. Oh man!
But that's kind of the name of the game. I mean, when you're trapping out there, you never know when it's going to burn, and
gotcha.
When it does, it's just
that's a lot. And you guys trapped. I assume game was pretty good out there for wolverine and lynx and everything.
Cold Creek was really good marten country.
Okay, cool.
There was a wolf pack in there, good wolverine. There were some lynx.
We're hoping to go back out, spend some time out there. We still have it.
Okay, cool.
The last year we trapped, the marten had crashed. So that was the year of the blizzard.
Okay.
We had that really bad blizzard.
Was that 22 or so, 21?
Yeah.
21,
What year
I
was
think.
that? 22,
21.
something like that.
Okay.
We actually had to get helicoptered out of there that year.
Really? Because of the snow?
Yeah, we couldn't get a bush plane in.
Wow.
We got like 36 inches of snow on top of what we already. I mean, it was over my waist. It was
there was
above my waist.
Wow.
There was 18, and then we got like 36 inches in like 3 days. Then we got 70 below weather, like literally right after that.
Yeah, a lot of wind.
You were at the Roadhouse at the time?
Yeah, so the runway is about 5 miles back. It was a 5 miles. And I was trying to, we just had little Bravos.
Okay.
And, you can't run a Bravo and snow like that.
Yeah.
4 people with a dog.
Yeah, right.
So I was trying to, put the trail in with my snowshoes. Well, every night the wind would blow it shut. And it was like 60 below, and I'm out there trying to get this trail to the runway, and
5 miles of
every night it would blow in. I'd have to start from scratch again. And once I was to get to the runway, then we had to pack it down with snowshoes just for the plane to land.
Really?
But I never did make it.
Wow.
I think it was about a couple weeks or so we were trying, and finally the bush pilot said, "Hey, you know what? I got a buddy with a helicopter. He said he can come out and get you and take you out if you want." So
after you tried the trail for a while, we also tried the river.
Oh yeah.
So we started packing down the trail on the river, and of course that blew in.
Yeah.
And then the last resort was the helicopter, and we had food. We just it was down to the bare minimum.
Yeah. Wow. Luckily, the saving grace was before the snowstorm hit. We went out and snapped all of our traps, closed all of our snares.
Yeah. Planned ahead.
And I'm thankful that we did, because I had some friends who trapped out, and they had a heck of a time finding their sets after.
I would imagine all that snow.
Luckily, we knew it was coming, and we went out and closed everything up before the storm hit. And
wow. So what Do you remember what month the storm hit? I assume it was probably in the middle of
It was
trapping
the end
season.
of December. It was like
Okay,
right around
yeah.
Christmas.
Yeah.
So prime time trapping season. You went and snapped everything.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. And I mean, it was a bad year anyway because the marten had crossed. So we weren't really catching much.
Gotcha.
So we came out fairly empty that year.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we don't. I mean,
We got some fur, but it
usually
wasn't like we usually do.
trapping in general, you don't. I mean, if you're going out like that and trapping, you're not going out for the like the payment
Yeah.
of the furs. You're going
Okay.
out to just go be out there and
Yeah.
enjoy.
Yeah. Of course.
But the
But-
extra money helped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to ask how much.
It helps to try
Yeah.
and be on that even, like whatever you spent to go
Yeah.
out there, because it takes months to prepare and haul everything out there. And logistic wise, it's, I mean, in the end, you lose a lot of time and money, but sometimes we're able to make even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of logistics involved in planning. You know, we would spend our whole summer basically preparing for the winter.
Wow.
And you always feel like you're behind, you know.
Really?
And when you got a
Always
family
something to
of
do.
4, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of mouths to feed, and you got homeschool stuff.
Right.
and
Right.
It's not just trapping. There's so much other stuff
Just life.
involved,
Yeah.
planning wise, and you know, once you freeze in, if you forgot it, well, you forgot it.
That's it. That's it. Okay.
So
So you
the
spend-
first few years of doing that is just
Yeah.
kind of learning, right?
Yeah.
And what you need, what you don't need, and
Right.
things you forget. And we always had a list of like, okay, next year,
Yeah,
we,
do
you know,
this.
and so we always kept a list of things we wish we would have brought or we should have brought. And so, you know, every year you do it, you get a little better,
Yeah.
right? And
Wow.
preparing. And so eventually you kind of get it down to a science.
Yeah.
After the fall, we would probably stay out like 5 or 6 months. We would get dropped off mid to late September. It would be snowing,
Yeah.
and our friend would drop us off upriver
Okay.
from Circle to the Charley. Well, not excuse me, to Slaven's,
Yeah.
and we have a cache like around
Okay.
that area, and we would haul everything up by hand, and there's a lot of physical stuff involved with that lifestyle,
Wow.
and you stayed in shape.
Yeah, I would bet a lot of moving.
I've always enjoyed the solitude, you know,
Yeah.
because once you're out there, I mean, there's nobody.
It's quiet.
You
Yeah.
don't see any other humans for quite a while, and
Yeah.
not until the Yukon Quest Trailbreakers would come through, usually,
Okay.
and which would be like
February.
January, usually late January they'd come through.
Early
and-
February, yeah.
when they'd punch the trail out,
Right.
And so usually, you know, no humans for months.
Months
and
on end.
just it's so quiet out there, you know,
Yeah.
just no sounds of humans. And
We would see military planes fly over, and or like a bush plane.
that kind of makes you
Some-
remember.
Civilization.
You start to forget because you just get into your daily routine of life, right? And you everything outside doesn't exist anymore.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Just
You know,
us.
and then all of
Yeah.
a sudden you hear that bush plane. You're,
Oh, yeah.
there is civilization
That's
out there. You
crazy.
know,
Yeah.
you kind of forget about it.
That's funny. So even living out in the bush away from civilization, like day-to-day life just still feels busy. You still have more than enough to do and
Oh yeah.
all that.
Yeah, everything
So
else just doesn't
fades
exist
away.
anymore.
Yeah. How was it raising kids out there?
It was good. I
I
mean,
enjoy
Yeah.
it.
we
It's a challenge.
Yeah.
yeah, it was definitely a challenge. We did our laundry by hand, and we also used like the old traditional stuff that people use like back in the day
Yeah.
to wash laundry. We'd have like that hand wringer
Oh, yeah.
and
Okay.
like the washer that you use in like a bucket, and
Yeah.
the kids really, it was simpler, I
Yeah.
guess. Like it was a simple lifestyle.
Sounds like it.
And
Kids had to be creative
yeah, it
and
played
very
a lot.
creative, and I think, you know, just they don't have a lot, right? They don't have toys, a bunch of toys, so they had to make their own toys.
Right.
And they have to use their imagination more. And
Probably not a lot of screen time out there.
No, we didn't have
also
any.
a big part of the family, right? They're always active with, everybody has a job to do to survive, right? So they're always participating in everything we do. And so you work as a family unit. And so you see a lot of times, especially now that we're not out there right now, and you everybody's doing their own thing.
Yeah.
But out there, everybody's working together as a unit. And so the family's tight.
Yeah.
Because we all have a job to do to survive.
Yeah, just to make it through.
It's important.
Yeah.
Like just, them checking the snare lines, or
Right.
splitting firewood.
Right.
It's just,
Water.
Yeah.
it's just, everyone has their job to do, but
We did everything together. We hauled wood together. We did trap together.
Yeah.
And the kids are out there 30, 40 below.
Yep.
And snow machine down into circle, 40 below, and 60 miles on snow machine. And
Wow.
they grew up in a different time frame in this lifetime that we're in now. And I think it helped us be more humble, I guess.
appreciate what you have.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That's so different than especially because you guys then moved eventually to Fairbanks, if I understand
Here.
correctly.
We just moved here 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you didn't go to Fairbanks.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
We didn't
Straight
want
to
that.
Delta. Yeah, no, I don't blame you for that at all. So, okay, wow. Then straight to Delta, which is funny because for vast majority of people, like Delta is it seems like the middle of nowhere. But I would imagine for you guys moving here, it's like, heavily populated. You have grocery stores and roads are plowed sometimes and whatnot.
Took us a little bit to get used to it.
Yeah.
Well, the roads are maintained here a lot better than where we were.
There are roads here.
Yeah.
That's something else. So when you guys would get fur, how much of it did you guys make things out of yourself versus sell?
Yeah, we would. I mean, the majority of the stuff that we got on the line, we would get it tanned.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like for muskrat, we tanned that ourselves some years. And then I would use the fur, make hats, mittens, and boots for the kids, like caribou fur boots. I made them.
Yeah, that's part of our income.
Yeah.
She would get a lot of orders over the summer.
Oh, cool.
We used to have a lot of people floating the river.
Yeah.
And canoes and stuff.
Rafts and stuff.
And they would stop in. And
A lot of people
Slavens.
from Europe,
Okay.
all over the world.
Really?
And so they would see her sewing, and they'd be like, "Hey, I'd like to buy something."
Cool.
So they would put orders in. So
Right.
Still do it.
Really?
So
That's cool.
she's made stuff for people all over the world. She actually has.
That's awesome.
I know Park Service even bought some of her stuff and hung it up
Yeah.
in one office.
I made a coaster set
Okay.
with the public use cabins from Eagle to Circle.
Oh, cool.
And that's like all within the Yukon Charley Preserve. And I made like the biggest one of service people. So he snapped a photo of each cabin in the front of it for me.
Oh, wow.
And I just had worked on that for a while, and like Park Service has it in their Eagle a visitor center now.
That's cool.
So
But a lot of the animals we also utilize food wise.
yeah.
Okay.
Muskrat. We ate a lot of beaver in the spring.
Really?
Muskrat and lynx. Lynx is one of my favorite.
Really?
So we ate a lot of lynx.
I like beaver.
Beaver's good stuff. So some of it we also utilize food wise.
Okay. Wow.
So it wasn't just the fur.
Yep.
Yeah, you're eating off of it. Would you reuse any of your game you caught for bait on the line? It's like you caught a lynx, reuse it for bait, or it's usually both eat it or bait?
Yeah. I
The
mean,
only
we didn't.
part you can really eat on the lynx are the hams.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You'd be surprised. They look fluffy, but
Yeah.
once you skin them out, they're kind of skin and bone.
Scrawny,
There's not a lot
yeah.
of meat on them, but the hams there are. But everything else, we would use that for bait.
Okay.
Yeah.
Too. I had snare pens
Oh, okay.
that I would do, and
For wolves.
wolves, wolverines, even other lynx. A lynx
Yeah.
actually makes a really good bait for lynx.
I've heard. Yeah, they're
They're very attractive. So after you use a snare pen for a number of years, it almost every animal in the country will start to visit them. It's almost like a marking station,
Like a hub, kind of.
and so even during the summer, or because I used to put game cams up just to see what's going on.
Yeah.
You would see they would come in and check it out, and so the longer you use it, the more it seems just all the animals in the area start to come check them out.
Gotcha. Okay.
And that smell, I think, just stays in there year round.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, but I would just throw the carcasses in there, and lynxwort's really good.
That's cool.
Even marten carcasses.
Really?
That was one of my go-to baits. Once we couldn't fish for salmon anymore, chums to use for bait, I started using marten carcasses because we caught a lot of marten.
Yeah.
And so I would just freeze them and then saw them up into chunks.
Okay.
And put them in buckets, and my conibear buckets. That's what I used.
Okay. Yeah.
Or I would throw them in the snare pens and stuff like that, and that worked really good. We had to be creative.
Yeah, I would think. You mentioned bears earlier. In that area, is it mostly grizzly or black bear, or
We have
or
both.
both? Okay.
More black bear, I would say. The grizzlies seem to stick more to the high country.
Okay.
In the springtime, the grizzlies would come down, but it seemed like in the rest of the year they spent higher up.
Gotcha. Okay.
But, black bears were definitely extremely thick out there.
Really, along the river.
They say Unit 25 has the highest bear density in the entire state.
Oh, wow.
Black bear density.
Really?
Black bear density,
Yeah.
which I believe. I mean, we used to see a lot of bears, and they were kind of a nuisance.
Really?
Especially when we're baiting.
Oh,
We actually had, when we were living in the canvas tent, we had to get a bear fence.
Yeah.
Because
they
every time
come
we
in.
leave, the bears would come right into camp, and
Really?
we got tired of sewing our tent up.
Oh, because they tear it up.
And
Or while we're sleeping, you can hear them outside of the fence and just breathing really hard and
Really?
really pitch dark and just, yeah.
we had the
The little
smokehouse
kids, we
going.
have to have
Yeah,
fence or
that'd be
something.
unsettling.
Yeah.
Any kind of close run-ins with them, or they run off usually?
Well, usually the majority of black bears are scared of you than
Right,
you are of them.
sure.
And like if you get your arms up high and just kind of make yourself look big, then they'll like,
We've had a few charges.
yeah, some,
Amanda had to shoot one once, and
Wow.
when we were smoking fish, it was a boar,
Oh.
and he wanted that fish.
yeah, he stood up behind the smoke cache and it was smelling the smoke. And I got my new gun out and I shot my first bear, and everybody's sleeping. I woke them up with the gunshot.
With the gunshot.
And it's like, okay, time to
work,
to haul meat.
Yeah, that 300 mag, it'll wake you up.
It will. I can say for
Especially on the
sure.
front,
Yep.
right in front of the wall tent.
Yep. Wow. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool.
we had one break into the cabin one time about 2 o'clock in the morning. We were sleeping, and it sounded like somebody took a baseball bat to the window.
Yeah,
Bang, and
really big cinnamon.
I jumped out of bed and went to see what the heck was going. I didn't know. I didn't even think it was a bear. I thought, I really didn't know. I was still half asleep,
Right.
and I just ran out to see what it was, and there was a bear coming through the window, and
Started making
I
noise.
just yelled at it, and it just kind of stopped and looked at me and turned around, and out the window it went and
Never
ran
came.
off. And
I looked down the other window and it just saw his fat butt
Crawling
jiggling,
out.
running away.
Oh, that's funny.
I think he saw me in my underwear, and that was enough to scare him.
Spooked him.
Probably
All right.
traumatized him for life.
Okay, so when I'm doing an overnight in the tent, just wear my underwear. Just like you spook them off. That's funny. Did you try eating grizzly if you ever did get one, and how did that compare to black bear? In your opinion?
We eat them. They, to me, they taste pretty much the same. I think really it just depends.
It depends on what
they're eating.
Yeah, it depends. If they're eating fish, they taste like fish.
Okay.
If they're eating other bears
Yeah.
or shrubs or berries, they're gonna taste like berries.
Gotcha.
I mean,
To me, I can't
fat,
tell the difference.
Yeah. Okay.
a fat fall interior black bear or grizzly is like the best because
Really?
that's the time they're eating berries.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Cranberries, blueberries, blackberries. They're eating them all.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, bear's one of our favorite. I'd say bear and lynx are my chief favorite for sure.
That's awesome.
So we've always harvested a lot of bears just because we prefer the meat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not much people eat it, and
Right. Yeah. I
it's
think that's true.
it's the best for us.
We would usually take a couple a year.
Okay. Yeah. And then obviously the fur, is very useful, I assume, for
bait.
Yeah. Oh, bait. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent wolf bait.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would roll the hides up and let them get rotten, and we would put those in a snare pen.
Yep.
And a lot of people use moose and things. I think sometimes, I think in our country it wasn't an issue just because we didn't have any other trappers out there, so they weren't really wise. But wolves can be they can get a little leery, but it seems like with bear, or maybe just because it's different in the winter.
Yeah.
But
okay.
I've always had really good luck with bear, rotten bear hides for wolves.
Wow. How's the wolf population out there? Are there a lot of them, or
it used to be pretty good? After that blizzard we had, I did talk to the biologist, and the moose definitely took a hit, and the wolves did too.
Okay.
So the wolf numbers have actually been down, I think.
Okay.
And I think they're still low from what they used to be. I know the last couple of years we trapped Birch Creek. I think I saw like one wolf track.
Oh wow.
Down there, and it's just, I think they took a hit.
Took a hit. Yeah. So moose, caribou, and wolf are a little bit down out in that area. Then
And the rabbits crashed too. So there just wasn't hardly anything to
right.
eat. And even the lynx, before they really crashed, the rabbits crashed, but they were eating voles.
Really?
And they were some of the nicest looking lynx I've ever caught. They were fat.
Really?
Usually when lynx are eating rabbits, they're just skin and bones because rabbits don't have any fat on them.
Right. Okay.
So the lynx don't have any fat.
Yeah.
Well, once the rabbits died off, they were preying pretty hard on the voles because the vole numbers were really high at that time. And those lynx were just, man, they were so loaded with fat.
Okay.
But their fur was just absolutely beautiful.
That's cool.
It was some of the best lynx fur I've ever had. But then, the lynx pretty much crashed to nothing.
Right.
Because voles usually, they're kind of a pretty short cycle.
Oh.
They'll come up really fast for a couple of years and then they crash too. But rabbits are more of a longer cycle.
Okay. Yeah.
And mart numbers, same thing. When you have a lot of voles, the mart numbers really come up.
Okay.
And once those voles crash, like the last year we were at Cold Creek, the rabbits had crashed, the voles had crashed, and it's like everything just,
plummeted.
really slim.
You trapped there 2 years ago. Was the last time you were out there?
Cold Creek was the last year we trapped. That was the blizzard.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And we trapped Birch Creek after that for a couple of years before we came here.
Yep. So you've been here a couple of years, and you're planning to maybe go back, you think?
Yeah.
Trap for a season or two, or?
We'd like to go back to Cold Creek. And
That's cool.
I had some medical stuff I had to deal with.
Yeah.
So it kind of took us out of the bush for a little bit.
Okay.
But
it gives the kids a chance to be in the big city.
The big city. Yeah.
Big Delta city.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, running water.
Spoiled. She didn't have
Running
to
water.
scrub her clothes by hand anymore.
Running water's a luxury. Electricity and whatnot. Grocery
Just
stores.
being able to take a shower.
Yeah.
We're really...
Without having to haul water.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in the wintertime, to do that, I assume you just haul water and then heat it up, and probably baths more than showers out there.
Baths.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool.
Gotta haul water for laundry, drinking water, washing.
Do a lot of chiseling.
Yeah.
We use an ice spud, so later in the winter, it starts to get pretty thick.
Yeah.
And a lot of chiseling to get down there.
Yeah, that's a different lifestyle for sure.
Yeah.
So the helicopter, you shot your bear. Had any other highlight experiences over the years out in the bush?
Yeah, just kind of meeting people from all over. I mean, the kids didn't really have time and space to make friends, but whoever had floated or boated up from like Circle, or had floated down from Canada, like going all the way to the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
We've met some interesting folks.
Really?
Some good folks and some bad folks.
Really?
Just, but the good folks that we have connected with, we're still friends with.
That's cool.
And
That's really cool.
a lot of them had kids that didn't speak English.
Wow.
And the kids, I mean, our kids did fine with them, and they just played.
That's cool.
And they had some kid time. They really had a lot of interactions with adults. During our time out there, he was like working for Slaven, for the Park Service, and the kids and I had to be official volunteers. So,
oh, really?
The kids started volunteering when they're 2-3 years old, and they were like running around, just like really doing his job for him, and they would bring everybody to like their play area in the woods, or like their favorite raspberry spot, or we'd go for walks down to the Coal Creek Dredge there, which is a mile back from Slaven's Roadhouse. And then
that's cool.
Like the Coal Creek camp is 5 miles back.
Roughly.
Yeah.
4 or 5 miles.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
we were interviewed multiple times. From, like this guy in Germany interviewed us, and some people, like the Fairbanks radio station, interviewed me.
Oh, cool.
And every once in a while, I'll have a chance to
Brazil was
work
out
at the
there.
school.
He talked about it once. I think
Yeah.
he floated down. I think we were cutting salmon on the beach.
Okay.
And he was camped. He didn't stay in Slaven, but he camped out in the yard there, and he said, well, he wrote that morning he woke up and he looked out and he saw us down there cutting fish on the Yukon. And he's like, it's good to see somebody cutting fish in the preserve again, because they had nobody fishes in the preserve anymore.
Wow.
Right? It's just pretty much everybody avoids it. They'll fish outside of the preserve, but when you get inside, there's nobody.
Wow.
He said, it's nice to get up and actually see somebody fishing there again, because for a long time nobody's been there.
Nobody did it.
Within 200 miles, we were almost the same. The only family within the preserve, besides whoever came down from Eagle. There was maybe like 1 or 2 families up near there.
There was one up, yeah.
Okay.
There was, Nate and Shelby Becker were up on Wood Island, and then there was a other couple, I can't remember their names, up on the Eagle end, but
we were like within less than 200 miles along the Yukon. We were the only ones fishing, being out there for more than...
We used to have people...
for about 13 years, we were out there.
We used to have people stop in, they'd be like, where's all the river people? I'm like, well, there aren't.
They're
any,
gone.
Really.
Yeah.
They're like, well, we thought there would be like people, with fish wheels. I was like, well, not through the preserve.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was sad.
Kind of a shame.
Yeah, it was just kind of us. And
Yeah. 'Cause that's a bit of a cultural thing too, that's just gone.
Yeah.
Kind of, disappearing a little bit.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff didn't really get passed down. I mean,
Really?
I grew up in Circle, and then my family's from Fort Yukon.
Okay, cool.
So I traveled between the communities growing up. My grandfather used to run a barge up and down the Yukon, like all the way up to Dawson, Whitehorse, down to like Beaver, Stevens Village. He would go.
Wow.
So he traveled up and down the Yukon, just hauling people's stuff, barging all summer and fall.
Ways.
I got a chance to be on the boat with him every once in a while, and kind of hung out there like when I was little, but then like after that, I never really had the chance to go out on the land, even though I was raised out there.
Wow.
So I really stayed in the community, and like a lot of people don't really venture out much unless they're like going for the day, or they might stay the night and just come back. And that lifestyle of living out on the land just less and less each generation.
So you kind of spent your whole life in that area kind of along the Yukon, Fort
Yeah.
Yukon Circle and whatnot. Wow, that's really cool.
It's a beautiful area.
Yeah, it's nice, beautiful country.
Is that forgive me if I'm wrong, but is that the Gwich'in people around there in that area? Okay. Are they mostly in like along the Yukon? Is that kind of like historically like their land?
Yeah.
Back
Yeah,
in there?
Upper
Okay.
Yukon, Lower Birch Creek area.
Okay.
I got family like all the way down to like the Koyukuk, like Alatna,
wow.
and just yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
that's cool.
mostly related to the interior.
Okay. You ever run into any like natural history relics? I hear about people bumping into like mammoth tusks and things
Oh yeah,
here and there. You find
Yeah.
that out there sometimes.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
We've found, jawbones of mammoths
Oh, yeah.
and teeth and tusks
Really?
and bones and
Hmm.
some we have still.
Found all kinds of junk out there.
Yeah.
You know,
A lot of historical trash in the preserve.
a lot of historical trash.
right?
A lot of traps. I picked up a lot of
Oh,
traps
I
over
bet.
the years,
Oh, cool.
just still hanging out there.
Yeah.
And you find old trap lines, that are, it looks like a game trail,
Yeah.
and you just start walking it and you'll see what looks like sticks propped against a tree
Oh,
trunk.
yeah.
And I would kick around and there'd be, an old trap.
Right. Just
Yeah,
left
you-
it.
Or you'd find a stick that's just kind of hanging down, but you could see it was wired to the tree, and and it rotted and fell. But when
Right.
you kick around, there's a trap. I've found traps from back. They were from the 20s, 30s
Wow.
time frame, and
Wow.
Some from my grandfather. He used to trap
Really?
from Circle. He would go across the river. Well, he would go downriver to 12 Mile below Circle, and he has a big like native allotment and cabin there. And then he would go over to Chalkitsik and then over to the Little Black, and then follow like an old cat trail up into the preserve, into the Kandik. He'd travel like all that way and on an elan.
Really?
Just him and maybe some friends, and just like a little guy,
Yeah.
He's just
it's,
like
it's-
5 foot, and he would
Wow.
travel just on a little elan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny, nowadays everyone tell you need like, these humongous wide tracks
Yeah.
to trap, and it's like, we elands,
Yeah,
and
we did
use
on Bravos.
and we would get her done.
Did fine. Yeah. That's cool.
We always did a lot of snowshoeing too.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know he did too.
yeah, he did.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
sounded
he-
like he covered some miles though. Going
Yeah,
and going.
he traveled a long ways. He kind of took that trap in. Well, all of his like brothers
It's funny.
had trapped.
Most of the old timers that trapped out there,
hmm
at least when I went out, they all bought their lines off her grandfather.
Oh, really? Wow.
I think the Tyrells, the Straubs,
Yeah, the one guy that flies a plane.
Frenchie.
No, the mountain man guy.
Oh yeah, Marty Mariano.
Yeah, Marty.
Yeah, because your grandpa used to trap up around, what's the name of that creek?
Paddle, and then you go.
Yeah, anyway,
yeah.
that upper country there.
Yeah, so that was all kind of his back in the day
Yeah.
So a lot of people bought their lines off
from
him.
him. Wow, that's cool.
Everybody knew her grandpa.
Yeah, that's what it sounds
Yeah.
like. And everybody bought part of his trap line.
Yeah, a lot of
cool.
those old timers. And,
Yeah.
And then north of where he was his brothers, like up within the Porcupine area into Canada.
Black River.
Yeah, the Black River over by Chalkitsik, and then downriver of the Yukon into Birch Creek area.
Yep.
That's like that northeastern area was like his brother's territories,
Wow.
and like they trapped and they learned from their parents and my great grandfather who has that book.
hmm
And my great grandfather had like 10 kids. They each had 10 to 12 kids, and they each had like 10 to 12
Oh.
kids. His DNA had
He propagated.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So was it typically pretty nomadic lifestyle in his time? Or was he based out of, I don't know, Fort Yukon or something and would just do excursions? Or did he just live on the go?
My great-grandfather traveled, James Carroll, who the memoirs is of. He traveled like from Circle all the way up to the Porcupine into Old Crow. His wife was from Old Crow, and they traveled like fish camp,
Okay.
a muskrat camp. So each camp to camp,
Gotcha.
all throughout the year. It kind of depended on what season they were in. And that's kind of like how we lived, but in a different time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we think we have it hard nowadays, but back then, they'd strap the kids in that dog sled. And,
Yeah.
I mean,
They lost a couple of kids who had starved or
Really?
had gotten sick or
Wow.
just really different time.
Yeah,
different time.
Very much so. I mean, now there's plenty of people that have kids and they think life stops and you can't go do,
Yeah.
can't hardly go, go do adventures anymore. But then there's like people like you guys living in the bush with a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old.
Well, my daughter was 6 months when we started going out, and then my son started trapping full time with you.
he was 5.
He was 5, yeah.
That's cool.
And then we all went out.
Yeah, once Audrey turned 5, then we all trapped together.
Yeah.
Okay.
He hung in there
Yeah.
tough, because he had to learn how to accept the cold
Yeah.
and the long days. And,
Yeah.
we did a lot of trail cutting too. And
Yep.
so I would cut and they would take the brush and throw it off the side of the trail. And
Wow.
naturally, he grew up cutting trail. And
Yeah.
since he was 5, and so Audrey too. I mean, when she was
Yeah.
5, that's how we.
Well, even she was little, she was throwing branches
Really?
off the trail,
That's how
cool.
we would cut trail. Amanda and I'd usually run the chainsaw, duck walking, right?
Yeah.
Or we'd trade.
And the kids would throw the brush off behind us, and it made pretty quick work of cutting
Yeah.
trail.
That's cool.
And so it's just constant. After we would cutaways, we'd come back at the snow machines and move forward,
Yeah.
and we
Or
would
the
set
four-wheeler.
traps, on what we just cut, and then we'd start cutting again.
Right.
And it was just leapfrogging all day.
Huh.
And, I mean, by the end of the day, we'd be tuckered.
Yeah, I bet.
Well, in order to do that, we had to plan ahead and have to have enough water for a couple of days and have to have enough food for a couple of days. So we had to plan ahead
Right.
just to go out and cut trail
Right.
all day.
Could you do a spike camp kind of?
No, we'd go out like very early, right before like daylight, and we'd start cutting. It would get daylight. I would usually pack lunch. I made a lot of like homemade hot pockets and
Oh, nice.
pizza, and so we'd have that on the trail. And just
That's cool.
Donuts.
a lot of donuts.
Yeah. High calorie.
High calorie.
Okay. Yeah.
Something you didn't have to heat up.
Right. Tastes good.
Coffee, of course.
Of course.
Keeps you going.
Yep.
Go.
Cool.
Yeah. I miss that nomadic lifestyle, really. I
bet.
mean, it just keeps life from getting monotonous.
Yeah.
We had our beaver camp where we trapped
Yeah.
beaver on Birch Creek and muskrat and fish camp and moose
That's cool.
camp.
Our
just
fish
different
camp was on the
areas.
Yukon. Moose camp was up Charley or some other places that we'd have it. And
Just
Yeah.
always moving around.
Yeah. That was always something to do in every season.
Really keeps life from getting monotonous.
Yeah.
a lot of people called us river gypsies, and just,
Yeah.
I mean, we literally inherited that life,
Yeah.
moving from camp to camp. It's been a learning curve moving to
Really?
Delta.
Yeah. Having a house you're in every day and all that.
Yeah, it's been different.
I kind of miss the tent living too. There's just something about, the canvas tents in there. The cabins are nice, but I don't know. There's just something about a canvas tent. The smell of the spruce bough floor.
Right.
And you can hear everything outside.
Yeah. It sounds like adventure. Out of curiosity, you mentioned finding like natural history stuff, mammoths, whatever. Was it mostly like mammoth tusks and jaws and whatnot, or a huge variety of things, or what would you
They found some arrows.
find out there?
Found some arrows. Found some
bones.
Yeah,
Bones, yeah.
bones.
Mammoth bone, mammoth tusks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of
Teeth,
that's-
mammoth teeth, jaws, jawbones.
Old stuff from the mining days.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of never know what you're going to find.
Sure.
It's just, like I said, a lot of old trapping stuff out there. And even old dog sleds.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Found like just sticking out of the moss, you
Oh,
know.
wow.
And
That's cool.
somebody, I don't know if it's just broken and somebody abandoned it or
Right.
what, you know,
Something
but
tragic happened.
we found old cabins, you know, just like just the like a round or two, you know,
Yeah.
that's left. And
Oh, yeah. Huh.
you know, it's just neat to come across something like that and be like, at one time, you know, somebody had a cabin there.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
know, and don't know what the story is, but
Yeah, and you wish you could sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
who was here, and you know what was life like for them, and what they see all the time. And all
yeah,
that.
the name's gone, the
Yeah.
story's gone, you
Yep.
know.
Yep.
And then before we started living that lifestyle, we did a lot of reading of books of the area and just learning about it and the history. And even though I was from there,
Yeah.
there's still a lot that I didn't know. And like that lifestyle, I never knew that lifestyle until we started doing it
Yeah.
a trial by error with our
Yeah.
kids. And
Yeah, I've talked to some of the old timers, you know, that remembered and would ask them questions about stuff and
yeah,
trying to get the history,
Yeah.
or who was there at one time. And I think it was a lot easier back then. You know, I mean, nowadays we have modern stuff, but you know, back then there was a lot more people out there, and so there was sort of what I would say is a support base
yeah,
to make it easier, right? You know, and like her and her grandfather used to run the barge up to there. A lot of the people that lived out there, they would hook their canoe up to the side, and he would take them up to the mouths of the creeks and
Okay.
drop them off.
Yeah.
Right? And
And
so you
then-
kind of sort of had this
yeah.
support base, and then also in the village and stuff, they would have stores where they sold all the stuff you needed.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
can't find that stuff nowadays. I
Right.
mean, you almost have to order it, right?
Yeah.
And even then, it's getting hard to find. And like that thing Amanda used to wash her clothes, the wringer.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
it took us
they're
a
not
while.
easy to find,
trying
and
to
they're
find
really
those.
expensive when you do, right? So a lot of that stuff, you know, it's just not available anymore. But back when there was a lot of people out on the land, you know, there was more of that stuff available. There was more people out on the land too, so like you had neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you had a little bit of a support base where
Yeah.
you know, we really didn't have any neighbors, you know, maybe 60 miles away or so, but
Yeah, Circle is the closest people.
not the only time we had neighbors was when Ray and Cindy Lewis parked their houseboat up at the Charley for
Okay.
the winter, and
Yeah, they
that
came
was
down
a lot of
for
fun.
Christmas, and
Oh, cool.
ever
Yeah.
since they were there that winter, we really became good friends.
That's cool.
Yeah, Ray and Cindy and Sarah. There's a little slough right below the mouth of the Charley,
Okay.
and he parked his houseboat in there and froze in for the
Yep.
winter. I think, yeah, it was nice. We'd come down and visit. And
Really?
we had Christmas with them, which
That's
was a lot of fun.
That's really cool.
They made us some Christmas presents, and we made them
Yeah.
some Christmas
That's awesome.
presents. and
Still friends to this day.
it was a lot
Yeah,
of fun.
Yeah.
good family. I mean, living that lifestyle, there's only a handful of people actually doing that in Alaska,
Yeah.
like interior northern Alaska.
Yeah.
And we got to know people from all over the interior that were living that lifestyle, and there's just maybe 5 families that were out for the winters, and
Something like that,
5 or 6, 7. It's just,
roughly. But
yeah.
probably a few more. Yeah, it's a lot of empty country.
Yeah, that is. That is. Yeah, such a decline. Yeah, but I've heard even a lot of the, like, what is a village now used to be like more of a nomadic people group, and they would, you know, maybe follow the caribou or whatever and just move around, and then eventually they decided they needed a school, and so then the village became more permanent, and it just changed the culture. So then even whole groups of people becoming more tied to one spot versus that lifestyle, you know, moving around.
Yeah, my grandfather's book was started in 1910, and that's like when like the mining was happening, and it was like the Steese Highway wasn't a highway; it was a trail, and he tells some stories about like some farms out there with pigs, and it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Like he would just walk and travel hundreds of miles, and Like it was just like nothing.
Yeah, because everybody walked at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Just reading about people walking from like on the Maltese Trail, all the way to Fairbanks, which was a lot of people did that. But oh my goodness, even that's a heck of a walk, and that has roadhouses, a day apart
Yeah.
to stop in. So, but still,
Yeah, that's kind of like how Steve's was. There was just a lot of people living along that like trail.
yeah,
Like a lot of folks just used like trapping, mining, like whatever they were doing back in the day, and like officially that trail literally became a part of the highway. Milepost 101 on the Steve's Highway, there's like an old lodge down there, like in the valley, where someone had a mine, and my grandfather walked from Circle all the way to that place just to work as a cook.
Really? I've been through there down that road a little bit, but I don't know if I've seen what was left of the building. I'm not sure. So
yeah, I'm not sure what's there. I haven't been there, but I talked to the people that own it, and I remember hearing of my great grandfather working there.
They weren't scared to travel back then.
Yeah. So that's cool and inspiring for us because we love getting out with our kid prior to a month ago. So, but for us, it's out camping for a couple nights. It's not living in the bush.
I think the younger you start them, the better. It's it becomes normal for them, right? It's not something scary or. I think if you start them young, it's just something that becomes a part of their life.
Yeah.
And they'll never forget it.
Yeah.
And I talk to so many people out there, and I'm like, and they tell me they have kids. I'm like, well, where are they? They're like, well, I didn't think they could handle it. It's like, well, how are they ever going to learn to handle it unless you take them?
Yeah.
And I know it's a challenge. Believe me. I mean,
yeah,
we started when our kids were very young, and it makes it a big challenge.
Yeah.
But it's a challenge you have to be willing to take. That's part of having kids, right? It's
just for sure.
It's not going to be easy.
Yeah. I mean, there are logistical complications, whether you go camping or you're living out in the bush or you're just home, it's like breakfast is a little bit more complicated.
Get your kids out there.
Yeah,
That's
for sure.
What we always tell everybody is get your kids out there. It's the best way to keep this lifestyle alive is by teaching our kids. And if our kids you never teach them to do it, So, get them out there. Doesn't matter how old they are. Just like, I think the first time we took our son moose hunting, he was
3 months.
3 months
3
old.
months.
And we were out for a month.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it was a challenge because, we had to burn his diapers every day,
Wow.
and wake up at night and feed him. And I mean, it was a super big challenge to be out there for a month and in that weather. And we were just in a tent.
Yeah,
we did it, and you can do it. And I think the kids will be better off when they're older, if they do. But
yeah, that's another level. We've done a lot of camping with ours, but no living in the bush. We've done when Liam was 6 weeks old. We did our first camping trip with him, and that was the first night he actually slept all the way through the night. We woke up in the morning like, oh, Liam didn't wake up. Like, was he okay? And like, he's just conked out. So, but again, that's like 1, 2, 3 night excursions. It's not living out in the bush. But yeah, we did a lot with Liam, and he always, with 1 or 2 exceptions, he always slept great, probably better when we were camping than when we were home. I don't know why, the fresh air or what.
Fresh air, maybe.
When he was real little, those Costco bins. So we'd put him in one of those with some blankets and then crack the lid so it'd vent, and that was his little bed, and it worked great.
Our kids
that's what we used, wasn't it? One of those little...
Well, yeah, little portable, like, baby...
we just...
Yeah, the cribs.
Yeah.
Yeah, the little fold-up ones.
Right.
We just piled the blankets.
Yeah,
Yep.
kids.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, there is some dangers of being out there, but it's not like what people know it is. It's just...
Yeah, it's always keeping it in the back of your mind, right? You do have to think things differently because you are, I mean, like when our kids were little, we always had to remind them, it's like, look, you have to think ahead, right? Because if something happens, we're not close to a hospital.
Right, yeah.
So it's a whole different thought process.
Yeah.
You have to be aware of your surroundings more.
Right.
You have to think about everything you do more
Mm-hmm.
because of the consequences. And because you are farther out, you know, you break something, you can't replace it.
Right.
So you got to think about the things you're using.
Yeah.
And being careful with things, not losing things,
Yeah.
which kids are great at doing. You know,
Yeah,
they leave
for
things
sure.
in the woods and they forget where they put them, right?
Yeah.
And like one time Natra lost a handsaw. Well, that may not be a big thing in town, but out there, that handsaw is very important.
Right.
And so we eventually found it, but you know, it's just part of that learning.
Yeah.
You have to think about things differently, about getting hurt or
Yeah.
tools or anything. So,
Well, as they're growing up and as we were teaching them stuff, they pass that on to people floating the river or
cool.
whoever they would encounter. Like one time there's this guy that was from like Europe or somewhere, and he was floating the Yukon, and he like was chopping wood with a dull axe like a few days before he got to us. And my daughter and I were out in the front, and we seen him come up, and he was staying there for like a day or two, and like he showed her like his thumb because it was starting to get infected.
Oh, wow.
So he had cut his thumb on the tip of it, and it was like starting to look gross. And she's like, "Mom, you should tell him about spruce pitch." So she and I had brought him over to a spruce tree, and we got that clear spruce pitch. It has like a natural antiseptic on it, and it's like glue. It's sticky.
Yeah.
It's that fresh stuff that's coming out of the tree, and we had gotten a stick and just kind of got that, and then he had smeared it on his thumb, and that night it like worked its magic.
Really?
And like the next day it was like almost completely healed.
From the spruce
Like
pitch.
it wasn't nasty looking.
Wow, that's cool.
yeah, he was pretty amazed. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I would be too. That's pretty amazing.
It saved him his trip, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Like he was able to go down the Yukon more.
Yep.
And instead of pulling out at Circle, he was able to go past and to a different village.
Saved him a trip, and hopefully a trip to the doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was always fun getting
Yeah.
people in. And
Yeah.
they used to, you know, they always wanted to participate.
Yeah,
Really?
That was the big thing. Well, yeah, I mean, you come all the way to Alaska,
Yeah.
right, from Europe or lower 48.
And they
You
didn't
know,
see
you want to
anybody.
participate.
I mean,
You want to take part of what we're doing,
Right.
right? And the Alaska thing and
Yeah.
stuff. We always treated people as like an extended part of our family,
Yeah.
right? So when you're there, I mean, I don't know how many
they-
people ate with us.
Yeah. I
When
made baked stuff like cookies and
we were running
coffee and tea.
the salmon nets. We would eat king salmon
Yeah.
every night, you know.
That's cool.
And we would always invite people to have dinner with us, to have salmon with us.
Really?
Or when we got a moose,
Yeah.
you know, we would cook it
Yeah.
up for everybody and whoever might be there at that time. And just having people there and participating. I mean, people used to want to, like, hey, can I hang that salmon in the smokehouse?
Yeah.
It's like,
Or
yeah,
can I
come
go
on,
with
you know.
you to go fishing or
Check
That's
the
cool.
fish
check the
net.
fish net?
That's cool.
It was a lot of fun having people participate with it.
Yeah, sounds like quite a variety of people too that would stop by.
all over the world.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean, we would
wild.
see people from Japan and a lot of Germans, and it's just it was neat.
That's
Some
cool.
Just a
Boy
cultural
Scout groups.
Really?
And whole bunch of groups of people, Boy Scouts from different states, and just a lot of people traveled, floated, learned about the area.
Yeah. Yeah. I assume a lot of them were going from probably Eagle to Circle.
Yeah, the
would
majority of
imagine.
folks
Yep.
would do that, but a lot of folks went all the way down to the mouth,
Really? The whole
Canada
thing.
from the
Yeah.
beginning all the way to the end.
Okay.
Whitehorse all the way down to the mouth of
Yeah.
the Yukon.
I've got a buddy that's been wanting to do that. We'll see if he pulls it off, but that's a heck of a trip. That's a lot of floating. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, we used to meet a lot of those folks doing that. The thing is, you have a certain time frame, and to me, you're kind of missing everything. Like I remember we had a German family their goal was I think they wanted to go all the way to Galena or something.
Yeah.
And so they ended up stopping and staying with us for like a week.
Really?
Yeah.
And he said, he said, if I stick to my schedule, he said, we'll get to Galena, but he said, I feel like we're missing everything because we don't have time to stop and explore and experience. You're just, you're paddling, right? Trying to get to a destination. That's what I'm trying to get away from, the rat race, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And so they never made it to Galena, but he said it ended up being his trip actually was more fulfilling because they actually got to stop a couple different times and spend more time doing other things.
Yeah,
and
that's
so he said it didn't really bother him that he didn't make it to where they wanted. He said because they got the experience.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the people we saw going to the mouth, they're racing like all day in a canoe or kayak, and they're missing everything.
Floating by all the historical.
But, I mean, they could check it off.
Right.
But what was their experience really? And so the people who did it slow and actually saw smaller parts, but actually got the experience more. And like I said, a lot of times people would stop with us at Slaven, and they'd be like, well, I'm just going to stay the night. Next thing you know, it's like 3, 4, or 5 days later, and they're still there.
Really?
They don't want to leave, right? They're just enjoying themselves, doing what we're doing. And
staying in a lodge, a 2-story lodge.
Right.
And just hearing the stories.
Fresh coffee in the morning.
Yeah, it would be hard to leave.
Having a good view.
Sit around, drink tea, and tell stories, and they would just listen and ask questions. And,
that's cool.
Yeah, sometimes they didn't want to leave.
I can't blame them. I can't blame them at all.
Well, sometimes they met us in circle too, and those are the times that we had invited them over for dinner, and I made pizza.
Yeah.
And,
we used to make pizza up at Cold Creek.
Yeah, we used to make pizza up there too. But interacting with people, that's how the kids and
she got pretty well known.
Yeah,
I bet. Oh, it's such a unique position to be in for them. So, and honestly, cool for the kids to meet that variety of people from floating down the river. How often would you usually get a visitor? I assume through the spring, summer, early fall.
In the beginning, it was like we had like 30, 40 people in a day.
Yeah.
And for days, all the way up to like September. And
over the years, it just kind of really petered out. Politics, COVID, all those things.
Yeah, border.
It just got to where we were seeing people like maybe once a week.
Wow.
It really slowed down.
Okay.
Compared to what it used to be. Wintertime, we usually didn't see anybody except for the trail breakers. Fall time was a lot of hunters.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. A lot of people that didn't know the area, just hunting the area. And a lot of people we saved.
Really?
Charlie's a tough river, it's rocky, and a lot of
a lot of people didn't make it up past Slavens.
Yeah, they would get in there and punch holes in their boat.
Ooh. Oh. Slaven's Roadhouse. What's the history on it? It's kind of out there in more or less the middle of nowhere, but
Frank Slate. Well, it used to be, in those days there was a roadhouse just about every, I would say 10, 20 miles.
Yeah.
Along the Yukon.
There was actually quite a few roadhouses all the way between Circle and Eagle.
Okay.
None of them exist anymore. They're all long gone. Well, Woodchopper Roadhouse is still somewhat there.
Okay.
Some rounds.
That's just below Slaven. But Frank Slaven's actually, he was one of the original miners in Cold Creek.
Okay.
Back in the old days. So, with the Klondike, right?
Okay.
A lot of miners went to the Klondike, and when they got there, they found that the Klondike was everybody already had all the claims.
Yeah.
And so a lot of those people just continued to move down the river. And so some of them had stopped at Cold Creek.
Okay.
Initially, Cold Creek was a coal claim.
Okay.
So up above the Charley River, there's a creek called Washington Creek.
Okay.
There was also a coal claim there. And there was a guy who actually put together, he actually hauled in a steam tractor, which is still there on the bank at Washington Creek. And so he was going to haul coal out and sell it to the steamships. That was his original plan.
Yeah.
And so Coal Creek was also a coal claim, and they were going to do the same. Well, it ended up being that the coal that is up there is extremely dirty.
Gotcha.
And clogs up the boilers. So they weren't able to use it. And so obviously those ventures went out. But the gold miners were actually getting gold in Coal Creek.
Okay.
And so there was a number of, people, and Frank Slaven's was one of those original gold miners there.
Okay.
At that time, there were a lot of paddle boats, really big paddle boats going up and down the Yukon.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, in those days, they were basically doing what they call drift mining, which is very hard work. So anyway, this gold company came in and they wanted to buy up all the gold claims because they wanted to bring in a dredge, etc. And so at that point, Frank was older, and so he sold his claim to the dredge company, and he hired some guys to build the Roadhouse. That was sort of going to be his retirement, if you will. And it took a couple of years to build the Roadhouse, but they did an excellent job.
Still standing.
It was a good spot because it doesn't flood. I mean, if you ever go there, you'll see. I mean, the logs are huge.
Okay.
And they did an excellent job of putting it together. It's a 2-story log cabin. And the back part is actually built out of boards from what they say was Fort Egbert up in Eagle.
Okay.
They actually brought down and built the back part.
Cool.
But I believe it took about 2 years to build it. I was in the 30s.
Okay. Wow.
And Frank, I don't remember how many years he ran that. Maybe 8 years.
Yeah,
something like that. But he only ran it not for too long. But he built it to compete with Woodchopper Roadhouse, which was about 2 miles down. But Woodchopper had the problem; it flooded all the time because it was like literally right on the bag.
All right.
So anyway, he eventually moved down to Washington. He just got too old. And, the gold dredge actually, well, there was a family that lived there in the 70s, and they worked for the gold dredge.
Yeah.
But then the gold dredge took it over and just kind of used it.
Okay.
So after the Park Service sort of took over and all the gold mining was done and everything, it just sat. For many years, it was just sitting there kind of rotting away, really.
The Park Service started maintaining it.
Yeah, eventually they decided to start maintaining it as a historic roadhouse, and so they fixed it up. And initially it was closed to the public. People weren't allowed to stay in there. But they eventually
It's like a museum.
Did open it up.
Wow.
So now people can stay in there.
Very cool.
So it's got a long history. It's been utilized by the gold miners and travelers back in those days, and then the gold companies, and then trappers. Brian Asplin used to use the cabin to trap out of, and there was a few other old trappers prior to him that utilized it too.
And some locals from Central had stayed there for like sheefish or burbot fishing during the fall, and it's just a lot of local history. And while we were there, we literally ran it as a roadhouse.
Really?
We didn't have to pay anymore.
Yeah, well, yeah, we just did it. I mean, we were there. He was working, and the kids and I had volunteered. I kept the cabin clean, and we kept it maintained. And he did tours to the dredge.
Oh, okay, cool.
And we were busy. We were sharing our lifestyle, our experience, and cooking. We had like a little salad stuff growing in the garden.
Yeah.
And like when people got off the river, they were able to have fresh salad and fresh king salmon.
That's cool.
It was a good time to be there.
There's a lot of history there.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
The Charley River has a lot of history. The Kandik, there was actually a native village at the mouth of the Kandik.
Oh, cool.
I think at that time it was called Charley's Village. So the Kandik it used to be called the Kandik.
Okay.
So the Kandik originally was called Charley Creek, and Charley's Village was at the mouth.
Okay.
And then you had the Charley River.
Yeah.
Well, everybody used to get them confused.
Oh.
And so they eventually changed the name from Charley Creek to the Kandik, so there wasn't two Charley.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
And that wasn't too long ago, really, because if you look at some of the old maps, it still says Charley Creek.
Really? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of history up through there. Who was the mail carrier that used to right
Biederman?
across from Biederman?
Yeah.
Biederman's had a camp right across from the mouth of the Kandik, and he used to run the mail
Okay.
by dog team.
Oh, cool.
I've seen some old pictures. I mean, they would go down there and they ran their fish wheels, and they would put up all the salmon they needed for that winter to run the mail.
Oh, cool.
And I mean, the racks of salmon were just it's crazy to think today, because now we can't even fish for them.
Right, right.
They would have thousands of salmon hanging, in those racks. It's just amazing when you go through there now and there's just nothing.
Yeah, that's kind of a shame. It's kind of a shame. I don't know. I hope that gets corrected, whatever is causing that. I hope there's salmon there again, in the future.
Yeah, it's been hard
back
for people.
then, it was like there was like 5,000 caribou of the 40-mile herd, and they used to travel from Canada all the way to Fort Yukon. They would go all the way over to Minto.
Wow.
Like, they would travel like long ways, and they used to get caught up in the sternwheeler boats. They would have to stop the boats for a few days so the caribou can go through.
Yeah.
There were that much caribou in the 40-mile herd.
They used to cross right above Circle there.
Really?
And so when the paddle boats would, when they would cross, it would take days for them to swim across because there were so many. And the paddle boats would have to stop and tie off and wait. Otherwise, the caribou would get in the wheels. Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy.
That's crazy. They used to cross up there.
Yeah. Yeah, now the herd's down to, what were the recent numbers?
20-something thousand. Yeah.
That seems like a lot of animals, but compared to what it used to be,
yeah.
I mean, what was it way back in the day?
Yeah, they weren't managed then either.
Yeah, that's true. They weren't actually.
They were doing their own thing.
Yep, yeah.
They just went and.
Yeah, what do you think causes a lot of that? I mean,
management.
Fair.
I think management and political stuff. Jargon just messes everything up.
Yeah.
They almost wiped that herd out.
Yeah.
It got down, I think, at one time to around 8,000 or something.
Oh, man.
I think it was from overhunting. At one time they used to allow everybody to take 10.
Yeah.
Yeah,
then they dropped it to 5. And then they had to close it for quite a while because the herd was kind of like was it the Nelchina herd?
Yeah, heard about that one.
They over-harvested. And
the limits, I think, up in some of those areas are still fairly high.
Well, we were able to take 5 or 10 each, and we only saw like maybe 1 or 2 a year.
Really?
Maybe 1. That same with moose. We were each able to take 1, and we barely saw 1. The numbers are just down. I mean, now they're starting to hopefully try and get up again because the habitat is like prime. Yeah. But their numbers
it was overbrowsed. But we used to see a lot of caribou swimming across the Yukon, so I don't know.
That's another one where hopefully it bounces back. It's cool to have the big herds.
I can imagine seeing that much on the Yukon. I mean, imagine us stopping for a couple of days just seeing them. I couldn't.
Imagine there was a lot of wolves in those days too.
Probably. Plenty of food. Yeah. Plenty of food. Yeah.
Yeah, wolves can cover a lot of country. I mean, they've actually, the Park Service was doing some DNA studies, and some of the wolves they found in the preserve were actually from the Denali National Park.
Oh, wow. That's a long
somehow
ways.
They traveled that far.
Ways. Wow.
And even lynx, they've documented lynx traveling as far as from Canada all the way to like Coldfoot, It's quite impressive.
Yeah, very.
Yeah, when there's just a lack of food, they just have to keep moving.
Yeah, yeah.
One thing about management that's really cool is that when you're out on the land, you get to meet like all the biologists. And just over the years, we've just had that relationship with some that we help with studies.
Yeah.
So
cool.
whatever stuff that we catch, we donate it and
we had
for studies that they do.
That's cool. A really good working relationship with the biologists.
That's cool.
I enjoyed talking with them. I think as much as they enjoyed picking our brains.
Yeah.
Like they always told me, it's like, well, we spend maybe 2 weeks out of the year out in the field. The rest of the time we're in the office crunching numbers. Yeah. Like you guys are out there all the time. So you see all the stuff we don't see. Yeah. And we had a really good working relationship with them. Worked with them quite a bit.
Huh. So when you go back, will you still be technically working for the Park Service?
No, I'm done with that.
Done with that. Fair enough. Yeah.
I'm done with that. We moved on.
Okay.
I
Nice.
think they even really got rid of the job.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
they got rid of that position at Slaven's now. So when my boss retired, that was really kind of her baby, I think.
Yeah.
And when she retired, they brought in someone new from the lower 48. And,
Okay, gotcha.
That position disappeared. So that's one of the frustrating things with dealing with some of these agencies is you have a high turnover rate. And usually the people that do replace them, they come from outside, and you kind of start from scratch, really. And so,
well, just the people hiring for those positions are very new, and they didn't know. I mean, they don't know how important it is for having someone out there.
Yeah.
And they didn't really care.
Right.
And, I mean, there's such a big disconnection between like the offices and like the smaller offices. And it's sad, really, because, I mean, Alaska is very different from any other state.
Yeah,
and the
much.
preserve is different from a park.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Well, it wasn't just Park Service. I mean,
there's different
with BLM.
Yeah.
And, trying to get cabin permits.
Yeah.
We were unfortunately unsuccessful. That was like a 3-year thing that we dealt with.
Really?
We never were successful with them, and as well as other land managers.
I think a lot of that had to do with political stuff and just the laws that they make on top of laws. And
I'd say that's probably the biggest impediment to this lifestyle or the land managers.
Really?
All of them.
Yeah. Okay.
There's none of them, I would say, have been overly friendly to that. Like
native corporations,
even
as
the
well.
state,
even them, really.
Yeah,
wow.
It's just
that's kind of surprising.
Tribal land, and just I'm from the area, and I was really the black sheep.
That's ironic. I wouldn't have guessed.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's unfortunate. I mean, it's not like how it was when my great grandfather was in the area. And a lot of people really cherish that lifestyle, and a lot of people don't know that lifestyle now. And although they want to learn about it, but there's a lot to learn. About it.
Huge learning curve. Like, that's a huge change to go into that. I don't know. Hopefully you guys obviously contribute a lot to preserving it and passing it on to your kids and everyone that came down the river. So
I'm hoping maybe people have the opportunity to hear about it. That will kind of spur some people like, hey, if they can do it, I can do it. But at the same time, I want people to know the reality of it and not go into it blind and thinking that it's something that it's not. Which, like I said, a lot of these shows kind of portray it and when it really isn't. I mean,
got to be dramatized. I mean, we watched a couple of years ago, for a short time on Disney Plus, they had something about Alaska. And I was like, oh, that might be cool. We live here. So we started watching it, and everything was dramatic. Like everything was so, and some of them were like legit. There was, they went out to one of the islands off the West Coast, and that was really cool to see those people. Nice. But some of them were like, they just like moved north of Anchorage and kind of chose to be, and it didn't seem like all that far from Anchorage. And like, we have to kill our moose this year. It's like, okay, you don't need all the dramatic music to go for that. So
it's funny, what kind of got me started on it was, I'm from the lower 48. I'm originally from Pennsylvania.
Okay.
So Marty Stauffer, I think, did a series a long time ago. I think it was in the 80s, called Braving Alaska. It was kind of like one of the first reality, if you will, where he went out and he sort of just showed these different families living out in the bush. And I was like, that's what I want to do.
Oh, it's cool.
And I also was a big fan of Jack London, but so anyway, that really kind of started me thinking. It's like, well, I don't really like this lifestyle down here. That's what I'd rather be doing. And so it was just a matter of taking the steps to do it, which I did. I followed through on that. And but it was that show
cool.
that really sort of spurred that in me.
Yeah.
It's funny because we ended up being just downriver because Randy Brown was in that show.
Really?
And Randy Brown was on the Candick. So that was just 20 miles up from the Charley, right?
Yep.
So, or Cold Creek, I should say.
Yeah.
So I ended up about 20 miles from where he was from that show.
Oh, cool.
So we were pretty
Yeah.
close, you know. It's just funny that how things come full circle.
That's funny.
So I'm hoping that, you know, maybe these things will help spur other people to do it. Bring back that adventurous spirit.
Yeah, honestly, that's motive for me too. Whether they want to live like out in the bush like you guys do, or just maybe just move here in the first place.
Or just going out.
Yeah, just go out and live adventures. You know, the author Russell Annabelle, he wrote a lot of Alaska books back in the day. So there's one person, older person I was talking to, who said when he was younger, it was Russell Annabelle. He said it was Russell Annabelle and bears that made him move to Alaska from the outside, and he's been here for like almost 50 years or whatever. And there's plenty of other people with stories like that. I was like, I guess that's kind of the idea that I was going for with this too. It's like, well, what if we could still tell stories, you know? And now we have like a podcast format, and where it's actually really easy to get out there, and anyone can buy a microphone and do it. So I was like, let's just go for it. So, but yeah, that's kind of the idea, is to tell stories, and maybe 1 out of 10 kids will be inspired and go live an adventure. That'd be pretty awesome. Thanks for listening to the Arctic Archives. If you enjoyed this episode, a rating or review helps the show reach more people. And if you have a story of your own you'd like to share, I'd love to hear it. You can reach me by emailing contact@arcticarchivespodcast.com. Until next time.